Hi there, it's Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com here with an update on the situation with MTGO and the crash. The videos are finally allowed for replay. This is almost, geez, how many days ago was it? I want to say almost a week ago that the Modern Premiere crashed and the videos were locked up as far as replay mode. And then I was told that I was going to be reimbursed tickets, which in fact, even though I finished 4-0 in a Modern Daily, they did indeed just reimburse tickets rather than give me the 11 packs. So very, 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 very extremely disappointed in Magic the Gathering Online, as that is huge, as Theros packs at the time. Theros packs are still going for 3.5 tickets, so that is a difference in tickets. So that'd be about 6, 30, 33, so 40 tickets versus 6 tickets. That's a difference of almost roughly $35 difference in MTGO's incompetence in their software to, where basically I still feel, since the tournament was done other than 2 players that were already out of prize contention, so that was a huge difference in $35 difference, which would have gone a long ways to doing some triple Theros drafts or double Theros Born of the Gone drafts to find cards that I need to actually make more decks. So anyway, big disappointment there. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and show those decks, or show these matches. We'll do them in 2 pairs at a time. So I'll show you, since I did go, spoiler, I did go 8-0, 4-0, 8-0 in the Modern Daily, and this would be game number 1. So we'll go ahead, and this will go a little bit quick. I'll try to commentate as quickly as possible because, again, this is a replay. So Windburst Heights finds an Auric champion, which is okay. A lot of times with Windburst Heights, you want to find like a Ranger or a Spectral Possessions. And I see an Arid Mesa, which is usually a good matchup. And you never, ever, 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 ever want to get a Squadron Hawk under the Windbrace Heights, because the Squadron Hawks can be searched out by other Squadron Hawks that you'll draw into. So again, I just put a Soul Warden under the second Windbrace Heights and cast a Serra Ascendant. Okay, and a little bit slow for Soul Sisters, but that's fine. So I'm thinking I'm going up against a UWR control deck here, but I have Martyr of the Sands now, and I've actually got the draw. So I'm going to attack in with the Serra Ascendant, and I decide that I'm not going to run right into a Lightning Bolt, so I'm not going to sacrifice a Martyr, and 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, that would get me way above the 30 life, and I could have gone in there for 6. But against a Arid Mesa Howled Fountain deck, you're definitely thinking UWR, and in his hand could be, there's 4 of Lightning Helixes, there's 4 Lightning Bolts, so I just don't want to basically get 2 for 1, as this goes on the stack, and then they Lightning Bolt this in response. So that is the reasoning not to do it. Of course, you can decide to go all out. If this was like Storm I was up against, I would do that, or another deck I might end up doing that. And then that would have been 6 damage, it would have gained 6 life, would have been up to an insane amount of life, but I don't think the risk was worth it. So now that he actually taps it to actually go get his red source, I know that I'm pretty safe, and so I'll sacrifice it now, and this 100% puts me out of that Lightning Bolt range, which is now a 6/6 flyer and 36 life, and it's a Think Twice, and like, what in the world uses Think Twice? So anyway, still don't know what I'm up against at this point. And I draw another Serra Ascendant, which is huge, but I'll just attack in with my first one, see if he can deal with it. He doesn't. I'm at 42-9, and at this point, I think the right play is just chuck out the second one. And we have the Path to Exiles up against any sort of shenanigans, but he decides just to think twice again, so he's definitely searching for something. And again, he doesn't play anything, but during my upkeep, he does tap down my Serra Ascendants, which is fine. And again, no play on his part. And at the beginning of my upkeep, he taps him down and draws a card again. So I'll just throw in a Johnny's Pride Mate. I gotta think he's running out of cryptic commands. So once again, I go for an attack, but he's Snapcaster cryptic commands. So it's getting quite annoying here, but I'll Spectral Processions. Yes, I am running right into a Supreme Verdict. But he ends up having to just electrolyze off 2 of the spirits. See, most of these UWR control decks don't run a ton of Supreme Verdicts, like a 2 of in the deck. And apparently he doesn't have any of the answers after that. So anyway, we can go ahead and close close this match and go on to the second match, where I sided out not very many changes. I sided in the Immortal Servitude, so it's really good against his deck. And I kept in a Rest in Peace since I saw Think Twices and Snapcaster. So I'm thinking of 4 of packs of Snapcasters and many Think Twices. And people are starting to include the Think Twices because Deathrite Shaman is out of the format. At this time, it is banned. So again, I'll first turn play off a Soul Warden. And again, he does not have a red source at the moment, so there's his red source. Okay, so then I'll attack into the Soul Warden, and I think the right play here is just to run a Rest in Peace, and he's got to counter that. Like, I'd rather have that countered than something else, and especially since I have the Rest in Peace Immortal Servitude, this is the exact line I wanted to see, was to bait out a counterspell with the Rest in Peace, because I want to get some value out of the Immortal Servitude. And if the Rest in Peace sticks anyway, then he's in a world of hurt, as his Snapcasters are useless, his Think Twices are useless, and whatnot. So anyway, at this point here, again, attacking the Soul Warden, and chuck out a Mart of the Sands. I wanted to try to get that counterspelled, and again, I'll just leave up this Mart of the Sands to gain a ton of life, because usually the UWR, they are a damage-based deck. They are going to kill you through damage, and a lot of that damage is coming by Electrolyze, Lightning Bolt, and Lightning Helix. And so if you can get above a certain amount of life, it is very hard for them through their Celestial Colonnades, through their everything else, to actually do enough damage. A lot of the times they just control the board, get into a couple Celestial Colonnade swings, and then finish you off with Lightning Bolts, Lightning Strike, Lightning Helixes. So if you get above that, what I'm trying to say is it's very hard for them to do that. It takes like 10 turns to attack with Celestial Colonnade, and by that time, they'll run out of counter magic, and you'll have cards left. I mean, their library will be so depleted because everything in their deck draws them a card, and that's how they win the game. So anyway, again, I'll just leave this up and go ahead and attack him with both. Again, I'm in no hurry versus UWR. It's more important to have card advantage. And again, I could be running right into a Supreme Verdict or an Electrolyzer or whatnot, and maybe I could have got more value out of the Martyr of the Sand, but I'm just going to keep attacking with Martyr because I really don't think he has much here. He still can't Cryptic Command, so I'll just keep beating him down with 1/1s, force him to answer it, and force him just to, use his removal here. I know he's got a counterspell, so I'm putting out things that I don't care about being countered. Martyr, Soul Warden, Soul Attendants, none of those are that big of a deal. And now if he likes Supreme Verdicts here, I know I can top deck into the Immortal Servitude and just get everything back, but it's a Sphinx's Revelation. I mean, look how low he is just from the shocks and me beating him down with 1/1s. So again, I'm just going to attack in, and he's got to try to answer it. So Snapcaster Mage for a Sphinx's Revelation. I'm not even sure what he's going to Sphinx for 1. And I won't make that trade. That's fine. I'll kill a Snapcaster Mage. And now he's got to, yep, he's right here. Here, let's pause this here. He's Snapcaster Mage targeting the Sphinx's Revelation. So he's going to get a card out of that. So I thought, hey, I'll make you lose a card. Let's throw out the Honor of the Pure and bait out a counterspell, or, make him use that Snapcaster trigger, which he ends up not flashing back the Sphinx's Revelation. So that's fine. And again, I'm walking right into a Supreme Verdict, but I just have to top deck into 1 land to Immortal Servitude everything back. So again, I'll just keep on pressuring him. Again, I won't cast Honor of the Pures, make him react to it. And I'm in a Spectral Possession here to bait out another counterspell, which is a Cryptic Command bounce. That's fine. He's down to a 5. He is running out of ammo here, especially since the Cryptic Command could not draw him a card. And again, Honor of the Pure, which baits out a Spell Snare. Attack in again, and Snapcaster Mage, probably for a Lightning Helix at this point, rather than a Cryptic Command, which is huge, as, what is he? I think he did grab the Lightning Helix here. I'm not sure. No, he grabbed the Sphinx's Revelation. That's what he did, to fill back up his hand, but it puts him at a 4. And again, he Lightning Helix off something, but he's up to a 7. But he's still, even with all this, he's running out of ammo. I'm still getting there with the 1/1s. I'm still just leaving back Mortal Servitude. And I'm up to 40 life, so I have 1,000,000 turns with, 10 turns to be exact, with Celestial Colonnade. So it'll take him a while to grind me out, if that's the case. And again, I'll swing in with everything, and this, my hope is he'll tap all of his lands to activate the Celestial Colonnade, And again, he still could have a counterspell here, but I think baiting the Ranger Vios is still more powerful than Mortal Servitude. But if he doesn't have the counterspell, which apparently he doesn't, then I can go search for 2 Sarah's Ascendants. Those are going to be very hard for him to deal with, as they killed the Celestial Colonnades. They dodge lightning strikes, lightning helixes, lightning bolts. And, I mean, he's getting so barren already in his deck. I mean, he has drawn a ton of lands, but out of half his deck already gone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lands. So, yeah, he is just above. A lot of them, I do believe, run like 25, 26 lands. I'm not sure exactly how many lands this runs, but it's usually quite a bit to maximize the Sphinx's Revelation. So at half his cards, that's pretty normal for him to have drawn half of his lands. And some of these weren't even drawn. They were just tutored with the Arid Maces and whatnot. Anyway, I hide away, find a Spectral Procession here. No, I get a Ranger Vios under the... And then he just decides to tech edge it. That's fine. And I'll attack in. And again, he's going to have to block the Ranger and go down to a 1. And this allows me to cast the Sarah Ascendant and cast another Sarah Ascendant. I probably shouldn't have overextended there. But again, he's going to have to react to it. And here, again, it just looks very mana flooded. But again, I've been able to keep up card advantage with all the cards. I have drawn in some pretty lucky cards like Rangers and whatnot. But again, he's getting very barren in his deck with 3 Cryptic Commands. There's Electrolyzers, an Electrolyze, 2 Lightning Helixes, Snapcaster Mage. A lot of things are just, like I said, a lot of cards have already been utilized. And he's down to just, there's his 4th Cryptic Command, and he's down to just a few cards. And again, these Ascendants are going to be very hard to deal with. He can Supreme Verdict. There's no point to overextending now. As Threads of Disloyalty, he is able to take a Sarah's Ascendant, but it does not give him +6/+6 in lifelink. And again, he just runs out of steam. He's got 27 cards left. Even if he's got a Supreme Verdict and wipes my board and somehow counters these, it's going to be a lot of turns before these Celestial Colonnades can really beat me down, especially with being able to cast Sarah's Ascendant and even resolving the Mortal Servitude. I was very patient with the Mortal Servitude just to come back from a Supreme Verdict and whatnot. And again, at 48 life, like I said, I have a lot of turns before these are not 6/6s again, and that is a lot of cards he has to top into to be able to handle them. Anyway, so pretty easy match with UWR control. I'll say that again. I think this is in Soul Sister's advantage. I've played this matchup probably more than any other matchup. I seem to run into this, especially around the Salt Lake City area. This is a lot of people's go-to deck, and at the PGQ that I end up winning, I faced this matchup 3 times in the Swiss, and then once more in the top 8. So a total of 4 times was against UWR matchups, and I won every one of them. And one of them was quite lucky. I did top deck into Mortal Servitude. That's why Mortal Servitude is one of my favorite cards, if you can't tell by now. But it was, they can call luck all they want, but the only reason why the game was still going on is because I drew probably around 65 to 70% of my land. I believe I had 13 lands in play and hadn't even gone through near half my deck. And the deck only runs 20 lands to begin with, so there's only 7 lands left in my deck. I mean, that was the only reason the guy was still in it. And then I, top deck in Mortal Servitude, got back all my dudes, and then won the game. Anyway, so that was match number 1. I'll have match number 2 here in a moment. This has been Ken with Roguedeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.